What's going on, people? It's your man, the White Bee. Once again, big shout out to my doggy Bash, El Cambolino Chapito, for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, as promised, yeah, we're gonna get into this Harlem Eubank post-fight situation. He comes out jumping on the ropes like his name is Muhammad I am Ard, all in the video, Puff Daddy. Oh, I won. Oh. You know how Eubank Jr. and Senior would get into the ring before the fight and they kind of pose? He was trying to do that basically. No, you got boxed up and you didn't come to fight, man. I don't know what you came to do. Obviously, I haven't been in there, but listen, man. Come on, bro. You came in there, I don't know what, I've been saying it for a while. These men come in there, yeah, trying to get something for nothing is how it looks. They don't really want to, you're having it, right? It's kind of like, well, if I can faff a bit and beat you on points, then I'll take it. There's no one actually trying to do someone some serious harm. Not one of them man in the ring. I don't care, oh, AB, you haven't done it before. It's not the point, yeah? It's not the point. Not one of them man in there was trying to do someone some serious harm. And that's my beef right now. We need a hard split in the sport. We need the faffers and point scorers. Yeah? Do that. Oh, AB. Do that somewhere else, man. No one's saying you can't do that somewhere else. I don't want to watch it. Not interested. Just not. Sorry. Not interested at all. Yeah? Faffers and point scorers. Oh, I won 7 rounds to 5. And serious, proper, old school, yardie, belt to arse. Yeah? That's the two things we got. Take that somewhere else. Because you never sell no pay-per-views. If people knew, this is the thing about it, what pisses me off, yeah. Listen, if people knew what they was getting, in as much as, if everyone knew it was going to be a boring, stinky points fight, you'd never sell no pay-per-views. Yeah? It's on the never of, oh, we don't know what's going to happen. In reality, these days, we do. And that's why we need a new sport. And Turkey, he fixing to fix his problem. Yeah? He on your man's arse. And you got all these weird, corny industry man. You can't really tell the fighters what to do. We're going to find out. Listen, Turkey fixing to make it do what it do, man. That's what the shmoney do. Yeah, Turkey fixing to make the shmoney do what it do. We'll see what they're doing. Anyway, let's get to this corny light skin here. In fact, before we do that, I do want to give a special announcement to Conor Henn. Well, since we're on the topic of corny light skins, man. So this is, I can't play the audio. This is basically, you know when Billy Joe Sausages tried to jump into Chris Eubank Jr.'s hand wrapping session. Conor Henn pulls up on Harlem Eubank and jumps in there and watches him get his hands wrapped. After which, you can see it basically in this video here. After which, so Conor Henn, he goes into the room with Harlem Eubank trying to ruffle feathers. If you watch the video, I can't play it because there's copyrighted music in it, in the background. But if you watch it, Harlem isn't rattled at all. Let me show you his face. Oh, you get the point. Harlem wasn't rattled at all. Anyway, Conor Henn then goes round to Jack Casserole, and is like, oh, I'm in his head. I've broke him. He's broken. Here we go. Listen.
Head's fucking gone. His head's gone, mate. He's fucking on the wobble. He's on the fucking wobble, honestly. Thank you. Fucking shit. Head's fucking gone. His head's gone, mate. He's fucking on the wobble. He's on the fucking wobble, honestly.
So that's Conor Henn's feat of the year. Yeah. I wouldn't even call it trolley. I don't know what he thought he was doing. It was just a bit. You expect it from Billy, yeah? Billy is an idiot, right? And he's also a tarmacker. He's an idiot tarmacker, alright? That's what he is. We expect that from tarmackers. Yeah, any man or any group of people who can go around institutionally bumping old ladies, for Moody Landscaping or Moody Roofing. Come on now, what do you expect from that particular alleged group some people talk about? Okay, Conor Hen, he just fitting right in. Oh yeah, I mean his head's gone wobble, mate. It's cringe, man. Anyway, that's the pre-fight situation talked about. That doesn't excuse Harlem here, man. But here we go. Let's get to his post-fight interview. I'm gonna play it on 1.25 speed because it's 5 minutes long, so we'll be here all day. Bosh.
Hey, late, and I was making him miss from the first bell. Stay on and make him pay late. And stay on and make him pay late. And I was making him miss from the first bell. And I was, started to make him pay. And I'm a championship fighter. If you watch my stoppage victories, they come down the stretch. And the referee took that away from me. The commentators were saying it was my corner. It was clearly his corner. There was a lot of fake news and stuff being spread during the fight. A lot of narratives. My uncle told me if I come here as the away fighter, I need to take it out of the judge's hands. And that's what I was preparing to do.
Oh, you was you? No, so wait a minute. Yeah, you was making him miss. You were making him pay from early on, and you were ready to take it out of the judge's hands. Come on, bro. It wasn't like you had 2 rounds. You had 6 rounds. You did nothing. Don't tell me you were going to start in round 7 or 8, right? Come on, bro. You weren't going to do nothing, man. That fight was going to be a stinky points loss, 10-2 at best for yourself. And what I don't rate is he's obviously... You see this at the moment with a lot of the political grifters. Oh, there's a lot of fake news, and they've set me up, and it's institutional, and the lefties and the righties and the libtards and the conservacucks. It's like all that kind of... I don't want to see it in boxing, man. I've had enough of it, politically speak. I don't need this guy coming on here. They got it in for me. It was a witch hunt. It was a light skin hunt. Come on, bro. You stunk the place out. Just take responsibility. He wasn't like... Listen, I'm the first one to jump on here and say it was robbery, right? I'm the first one. I'd love to come on here and say, yeah, he got robbed and he was punching. I had money on Harlem, so you know what I'm like. I'll back my book. I'll talk my book more time. Yeah. If he'd have won 3 rounds, I'd have said robbery. If he'd have won 2 rounds, I'd have said robbery. If he'd have won a round, I'd have said robbery. He didn't win a bean of nothing, man. Yeah. You didn't win a bean of nothing. Oh, my uncle told me this. My uncle told me that. If your uncle told you so much, Harlem, where was he at? Yeah. Because before he started hanging at the back of Chris Eubank Jr. again, Senior was hanging at the back of you, right? And he's deaded you off now because you're the B level, you're the C level team, right? And this really isn't the topic, but it just shows how fickle Chris Eubank Senior is. Yeah, Chris Eubank Senior would rather have D level light than no light, and that's what Harlem Eubank was at the time. But Eubank Senior, he will trade up. Right? If at the time, if all he could get was the scraps of light from Harlem, he was taking that all day and night. He was hanging out the back of Harlem for years. Chris weren't talking to him. And now he's backing with Chris Jr. Harlem can't get a phone call back for love nor money. Where was he at? What's Senior doing that's so important? Oops, nothing. If anything, I think Senior's ego is probably saying, well, I don't want to devalue my level by being seen with Harlem. I only want to be seen with Chris now, and that is quite sad. From a family point of view, it shouldn't matter if your sons or if your nephew's no good. If you've done it before, why won't you be there? That's the question. So don't bother quoting your uncle anymore. He don't care about you like that. If he did, why would a retired man not be at his nephew's fight that he's been hanging at the back of and glazing him off for years? Why wouldn't you be there? So don't talk about him no more like that, man. Oh, my uncle said it's like a bailout. Oh, my uncle's got respect, so he told me it was gonna. Come on, bro.
That was the game plan. Make him miss and make him pay late. And I was catching him clean towards the later rounds. And
you was catching him clean. What round was that? Listen, I saw you land in 6 rounds. You landed about 6 punches. That's the truth. You wasn't catching no one clean. You was not. So don't play with me, man. I'm tired of people. They piss on you and they tell you it's raining. Oh, no, it's the wind and the rain, mate. No, I'm not sitting here golden showering on you. It's just, oh yeah, you know what that rain's like these days with the chemtrails and that. Yeah, it comes out green these times. Oh, it's a crazy bit of rain and a crazy bit of wind we got. You see what I mean? It's like, no, don't do that, man. Just sit there, just say nothing. Look at Casserole. Casserole's been quiet, man. He ain't saying nothing, and rightfully so. He won, but it stunk. Read the room. This wasn't a controversy time.
You know, he was edging back, and the referee took it out of my hands tonight. I didn't lose that fight.
Was there some confusion on your part, especially when the fight got pulled? It seemed like, you know, the corners after the 7th round were ready to go, and then it seemed like there was sort of a change of mind. So was there confusion on your part when that's all going on?
100%. You know, we was up, ready to go. You know, my cut was a minor cut. We was looking at the other corner. The ref went over to the other corner. My doctor approved everything my side. You know, we was raring to go, and his corner.
No, you wasn't raring to go, my bro. No, you wasn't raring to go. You I saw it. To be fair, I don't know what happened to me. I think I was banking on Harlem going Eubank. I thought, well, once he ends up in a good scrap, or once he ends up in a tough fight that he can't faff around in, he'll have a go. That's what I was banking on, in my defence. I did see the holes in him. He's just hopping around a lot, and he's waiting. He doesn't really try to be first. But I thought the Eubank in him, but this guy, man, he's not even the real thing. He's not from the real. He's not cut from the same cloth. He's not got the proper genetic code. That's what he hasn't got. End of the day, he ain't got it, man. And that's the bottom line. So he needs to change. For me, he needs to change his name now. Change the E to a W, because you're not the real Eubank like that. From what I've seen, he was going out sad, and the fact you're carrying on like this. Yeah, you didn't know the cut was going to happen, but you might as well have known. The way he was running in, I've never seen nothing like it. Someone charging in. The only time someone charges in is when they're shitting themselves about being in a fighting range. So, no. Yeah, you get no credit.
His corner was told he couldn't continue. It was nothing to do with me. And that was a fake narrative live on the commentary. There were so-called independent commentators in his dressing room before the fight and coaching him ringside. I've not experienced something like that. And
who are you talking about?
Carl Frampton. I was a fan of this guy. And
bro, what are you crying about? Oh, commentator who's supposed to be independent. What's that got to do with you getting boxed up for 6 rounds, right? It's one thing. I've heard it before, where a fight is dominating, and the industry man are just glazing the other guy who's getting boxed up. Well, a good example. Well, it's not exactly the same, but everyone was oh, Canelo's so good against Skull. No, he sucked as well, right? But the difference is, you sucked. So even if they was trying to glaze Jack Casserole, you didn't give them no reason not to. It wasn't like you were doing wicked work, and you should have been getting props. You deserve no props in there, man. I can't think of one good thing you did. You look good. You like I'd say Harlem Eubank is a world championship level shadow boxer. Honestly, I'm not even hating. That's the truth. If there was a world shadow boxing championship, he'd be up there in my top 10. Because he's quick. He can do all them. He can do everything that looks. He can do everything but engage. You see what I mean? It looks really quick and it looks really slick, and he's cutting angles and doing all sorts 5 feet out of range. So you are the shadow boxing world title challenger, Harlem Eubank. That's what you are, bro. You're not an engager like that. I can't say you can come up against another man and be on world level. In that realm, in real boxing realm, he's probably British level, and he might go. If it's a half decent guy, he's gonna lose as well at British level. Honestly, yeah.
I feel like I've been done dirty this evening. I was carrying out the game plan to a T, and that is to make him miss and to make him pay late. And if you watch my championship fights, when I take out my opposition, that is exactly how I execute a game plan. And the referee...
These things sound good. This is the thing, man. I don't care what no one says. You know what was going on in there. Unless you're slow. He knew what was going on. He wasn't making no one miss and making him pay. He was making him miss to some extent. He didn't pay once. He didn't pay. He didn't throw no punches, man. He didn't throw no punches, bro. You made him miss because you were standing. You was running 6 feet away from him. You didn't make him pay. That's what you didn't do. Oh, it's a travesty, the commentator. The commentators aren't the referee. The commentators aren't the judges. So who cares what they say, really? Now, it's different. Let's say you whoop someone. Carlos Adames, for example. Adames versus Shiraz. Adames has a right to be mad, institutionally speaking, because he won 10 rounds. And all the radio guys were saying was, oh, man. Oh, Hamza's up 10. Hamza's won the first 15 rounds of the fight. That's what they were saying. He has a claim because he was winning. But when you're losing 5 rounds to 1, who cares what the commentators are saying, man? What? Who cares? Come on.
Took that away from me tonight in not letting Jack Catterall continue.
Alan, just talk to me about before the fight. You mentioned the commentary and independent, but you also had Conor Benn watching your hands get wrapped. I don't want to say did that play on your mind, but what did you make of that? Because we didn't from the outside think that it was a thing of that Jack and Conor had this friendship. But video, what did you make of it?
This is the go along to get along gang. You see it, you see it in the commentary. You see it in the dressing room. These guys all pretending to be friends, sending Conor in. When Conor come in, I said, when he left, I said, take a ringside seat, and watch a display. And the referee took it out of my hands in me winning in spectacular fashion tonight.
Now listen, I'm not saying old school man weren't somewhat delusional. I'm pretty sure if you go through history, if there was a close fight and it went the other way, I'm not saying all the old school man would have took it in grace. They would have probably said, I beat him, right? That said, I'm not a historian, but I can't remember. Show me a time. And this is a common theme here. We had it with Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. Oh, I won 6 rounds. Yeah, I won the 6 rounds. I won it. Oh, I won it. This cat here. Conor Henn, even after the Eubank fight. Yeah, I won that. Yeah, I won it. He can't punch, and I won it. These dudes ain't even winning it. It's not even... No one's saying it's a robbery. Not even close. In fact, you definitely lost, Harlem. You lost worse than Conor Henn did, right? No one's saying this is robbery in your favour at all. Forget about it. And still, you can these new age times. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. Who was I listening to the other day? Carl Froch. To be fair to him, and Carl Froch is probably a good example of it. Big conk, big conk. But let me give Carl his credit here, because Carl came out the other day and was talking about the Andre Ward fight and admitted, 2 judges had it 115-114, 115-113, so he only lost by a round. But he said, I know I got beat, right? And Carl's got a massive ego, and if the judges give you 115-113, if there's ever a time to say, I got robbed, I beat him, it would have been then. He said, no, I knew I lost. He was the better guy that night. Ward can't punch, but he did his thing, and he beat me in the game of Queensberry rules boxing. Fair play to him, right? And that's in a 115 official 113 fight. So how are you losing 5 or 6 rounds straight? I give him 1 out of sympathy. I tend to do that. If I've seen someone win 6 rounds, I'll just throw one in there. It's like a KFC lucky box, right? You ever had that before, where you order a 6-piece? It don't happen these days. These days, these end times, they be checking the boxes. But back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, you could go to KFC and get a 6-piece or a 10-piece, and there'd be an extra one in there. Yeah? You see that one there? So that's how I do it. Over 6 rounds, you get a free one. That's all you got, Harlem. Out of 6, you got 1. And you're sitting there making out, oh yeah, it was nip and tucking. Ooh, yeah, they've done me here. Oh man, they've done me. The Kabbalah's done me here. Therefore, not even once, man. You got punched up. But he didn't even punch you up. He stunk. He stunk a little bit less than you. You was 10 out of 10 stink, and Casserole was 9 out of 10 stink.
Jack's a world-class operator, and all the fighters scoring the fight ringside had it even, and I was just warming up.
I was about to say, do you feel like...
All the fighters scoring the fight had it even? Thank God. I don't believe that anyway, to be fair. What he means to say is his friends. It's hard to tell someone. I'm not even sure I'd do it. If you had a friend, yeah, I'd probably nod. And he's like, I got robbed. I'd be like, yeah, bro, you did for sure. Right, you don't want to hurt him. You don't want to say, hey, man, you got punched up. Or you didn't do nothing. You see what I mean? But, one of them ones. That's who told him he won 3 rounds. It was the people who were hanging at the back of him. It's the people who are trying to hang on to some remnants of the Eubank. That's what it will be. It won't be no one who's half serious. They can't say that. I'd tell you that. I had money on you, mate. I'd love to come on here and tell you I got scammed by the cabal, but it wasn't. You shit yourself. You. Yeah? No cabal. No institutionals. Yourself. You didn't turn up to fight. And that's what I'll quote Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury sat there with David Big Toe Hay and said, David, I tell you, are you going to turn up to fight? What did he say? Are you going to turn up and fight, David? He said something, oh. Or are you going to shit yourself? And then he said, I sense a stinker. That's what the great late philosopher Tyson Fury said to Big Toe David Hay. Yeah, I sense a stinker. And that was what you did. Yeah, you did that. Are you going to fight or are you going to stink? Both of you, man, chose to stink. And that's it. That's the top and the bottom of it. Let's not play around no more.
At the time of the stoppage, you were sort of coming into your own. I felt like...
Most definitely. He's a negative style fighter.
Oh my God, this is what I mean, the media. So Harlem's slagging off, yeah, the media ain't helping. You've got a top glaze. Listen to this glazer here. Yeah, Harlem, you're just coming into your own. Listen.
And I was just warming up.
I was about to say, do you feel like at the time of the stoppage, you were sort of coming into your own? I felt like...
Most definitely. He's a negative style fighter. I took it away from him, and that was the game plan, and make him pay late. And I was starting to make him pay. You know, I was starting to land clean shots. And, you know, some of the things I see with the commentary, it's the go along to get along gang. And my uncle warned me. You know, he said, if you come here, you need to take it away from them. You know, there is something...
Yeah, he warned you so much you didn't turn up.
Disdain against the Eubank name, and I've experienced it here tonight. Yeah.
How long did you expect your uncle to attend today?
He is in Jamaica, otherwise he would have been here. But you know, I'm glad that he didn't have to witness you know, how I was treated tonight.
You had Sebastian's t-shirt here. I'd see he's always with you.
He's known about this holiday. He's known about that fight for months, 3-4 months. You're telling me he couldn't have booked a holiday for the week after. It's a bit. It just shows that Eubank Senior really is all about himself. If I was a top boxer, yeah, and I'd been hanging at the back of my nephew, right, and my nephew's got a fight booked and I'm retired, I'd be going the week after, wouldn't you? That's what you do as a good person. You don't have to be a great, not even a good person. An average person would think, oh, I used to be a top boxer. My nephew's boxing. Let me be there for him, my nephew, right? Eubank say, oh, go. He's probably got some brand deal out there, some Yardy brand deal. He's trying to soak up the coins from on the back of the Eubank Benn fight. That'd be my guess.
He's always with me, and you know, it's a strong motivator for me. And I was ready to deliver a big performance tonight, and it was taken away from me by the referee stopping Jack from continuing. Despite all the false narratives, it will start to, you know, you're starting to see what we have to deal with. You know, we haven't just got the opponent in front of us. There is other...
Yeah, bro, to be fair, you ran into him. You came, I wouldn't even call it charging. You kind of... It reminds me, what's that game? And you can double tap and it makes you go really quick. Is it Goku or something? I don't know. Something like that. It's like a double tap. You just started speeding across and you banged heads with him. Because you were leading with your head. You didn't want your head to be... You wanted to get your head on top of his head. Or over his shoulder as quickly as possible. You didn't want to be in that range because you shit your pants. That's why it happened. If you was working your way in and you weren't desperate to get to a safe spot, aka over his shoulder or head to head, so his head you can nuzzle in there and give him a kiss on his neck. If you weren't gagging to do that, you never would have banged head. So the head clash was your fault, in my opinion. And you got no one to blame but yourself. Yeah.
The things which are harder to defeat, and that is things like commentators, coaching fighters and being with them in the dressing room. And are they going to give me a fair run? You know, obviously not. I needed to take it into my own hands tonight, and I followed the game plan and was going to execute a...
Alright, brother. Alright, mate. Listen. This is the new age is like a victim culture. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, my mum, oh, yeah, you know, my mum used to leave me at home with my dodgy uncle. No, I'm not saying Harlem in particular, but that's what they'd say. They'd say things, oh, yeah, my life went wrong, but that's a bad example because that probably would be quite traumatic. But you get the point. Oh yeah, my uncle used to, my mum used to leave me with my handsy uncle, and it's been trauma. It's ruined my life. But you get the point. They're always complaining about something or other, man. Do you see what I mean? Oh, the comments. Come on, man. I don't mind people being butthurt if you've really put a shift in, and you feel you've been wronged, but you didn't put a shift in, man. You can't tell me you was. But I thought I had more rounds to come. No, that fight was going one way. It was going to Jack Castle or unanimous. Because you know, the thing is, you can say, well, I was about to turn it around in the back six. It's very hard to turn around a 5-1 fight. That means to win it outright, you need to win the next 6 straight on the trot. Bottom line, right? If you only won one of the first 6, which more or less was the case, you had to win the next 6 on the trot just to get a close win. Who does that by design? No one plans to only win to nick around in the first 6. It's almost an impossible task. I can't think of many fights where an opponent doesn't score at least 1 round. So the best you was hoping for was a moody draw. No, you was going to get a unanimous decision loss, bro. So to suck it up. Now, I'll never gamble with him again, to be fair. I don't care what he does now. He's lost my confidence. But he needs to go away and watch the fight and do some soul searching and stop blaming everyone else. Yeah, that's what he needs to start doing. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Let's pray. Let's say a quick prayer for the light skin man, because listen, we've been going through it. We've been going through how many years? I think it's been about 15, 20 years of. Let's say a prayer right now. We thank you, Lord. Or we pray, Lord, that you save these light skin man, because they're down bad right now. They've been down bad. Listen, we can go back to the days of the late great Little Tohei. That's 15 years. We're talking biblical amounts of time, biblical relevance here. They'll talk about that in the boxing Bible. They'll talk about. I've heard the prophecy of David Hayes' little toe man. Don't play with me. They prophesized that. They prophesized it. Yeah, a big corny light skin. A big corny light skin with camels in his hair is going to get his little toe out all in the video and talk about how it hurt him. Oh, anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no tap. I've had this on people. Stop it. Bah.